షీట్ పంపిద్దాం, రూల్ షీట్ పంపించేద్దాం. అది రూల్ ఫామ్ పంపిద్దాం. ఇంకొద్ది కదా మన దగ్గర. కూర్చోండి. సీరియల్ నంబర్, టైటిల్ ఆఫ్ ది బుక్, ఫుల్ టైటిల్ ఆఫ్ ది బుక్ నెంబర్. నెక్స్ట్ ఆధార్ 1, ఆధార్ 2 అలాగే
ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్ ఆర్ అమెజాన్ లింక్.
అది కావాలా? అది ఆనంద్ గారు దాంట్లో 800 పెట్టేస్తాం కదా మరి. అది ఫస్ట్ ఆధార్ మంది కాదు, అనూజ్ గారు దాంట్లో పెడేస్తుంది దాన్ని. ఫస్ట్ ఆధార్ కింద కాదు, ఫస్ట్ బుక్ ప్రూఫ్.
Welcome back. Good afternoon to all. Let me introduce the next speaker of the session, Dr. SSN RAJU. Dr.sivangi SURYANARAYANA RAJU, hailing from West Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh. He has been awarded PhD by REC Warangal at the age of 27 years for submission of thesis on intramolecular interactions and kinetics of hydrolysis of homopolyfunctional organic compounds in the area of physical organic chemistry under the guidance of an eminent academician and researcher Dr. A. Ramchandraya, NIT, Warangal, India. Dr. Raju chosen engineering education as working field and as a dynamic academic leader. As of now, he acquired 29 years of experience in research, 27 years of experience in teaching, and 20 years of experience in academic administration with an exclusive experience as a principal for more than a decade in engineering colleges. His research contribution also includes 40 research publications in national and international journals so far in different multidisciplinary fields. Apart from good citations by different global researchers, he successfully guided for 1 PhD and 3 MPhil degrees so far. Apart from being chief editor for reputed technical magazines, Biotrends and TechWiz, he is contributing services as a reviewer and editor for many reputed national and international journals. Now, his topic for the session, academic and administrative methodology in revised accreditation framework. Sir, please take care of the session, sir.
Hello, am I audible now? Hello. Am I audible now? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible now, madam?
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir. Good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you, madam. Chairperson of this national seminar, the principal of the organization ISTS, Dr. Rajeshri Rao, madam, all the teaching faculty, the participants, and other members of this particular conference. Very good afternoon, everyone. At the outset, I am so happy to congratulate the team of ISTS for their hosting this very important national level seminar for the benefit of academicians as well as many of the institutions. I'm so happy also to be a part of this particular seminar as one of the speakers. As it was already mentioned, I'm going to talk about the academic and administrative methodology in recent accreditation framework. So coming to for this particular talk, like this academic and administrative methodology in revised accreditation framework. So these are the outcomes of the talk. Soon after the completion of this talk, I hope the participants will be able to actually describe what is AAA. Hereafter, I'm mentioning like AAA or AAA, academic and administrative methodology in revised accreditation framework. So the participants will be able to describe what is AAA, and they will be able to know the actual principles of AAA, and they will be able to know what are the advantages associated with AAA, and they will be able to know what are the actual procedures of AAA and what actually the different stages of AAA, and of course, at the end, the overall impact on the organization, on the society, and the need or the importance of this academic and administrative methodology. Yes, let me tell you once at the beginning that this AAA, like academic and administrative audit, is highly interrelated, because one can definitely say or dare say that without the real administrative support, it is not possible to have the best quality as far as academics are concerned. That's why academic and administrative audit are interrelated to each and other. So coming for this academic audit, there are so many meanings for this academic audit. And of course, there are so many methodologies. Most popularly, there are 4 methodologies as far as these audits are concerned. But to be honest, in India, in all the organizations, in particular higher educational institutions, we follow the guidelines of NAAC. So this academic audit, it is a real systematic approach to review the academic process for the sustainable quality and its enhancement in higher educational institutions. To be specific, it's not confined only to HEIs. It may be for any academic organization, like middle level, school level, whatever it may be. And coming for this administrative audit, it is the real process of the efficacy evaluation. That means how best we are doing as far as the administrative procedures are concerned. Like whatever we have the policies, we need to assess the policies and what are the actual functions of the different sectors like departments or the wings, what we proposed, how they are running, and what is the total control on the administrative system. So it includes the total control. Obviously, it includes the best and the maximum support to the academics. That is why this AAA is highly interrelated, as both the academics and administrative supporting things are combining together. Okay, let me tell first, after these AAA definitions, the actual definitions, why this AAA, like academic and administrative audit, is important for organizations. It ensures quality education in higher educational institutions. But thing is, let me tell once again, we are focusing on these higher educational institutions, But this quality assurance or this kind of audits are not confined only to HEIs. For any organization, with respect to the quality, this AAA can be considered. Next, this AAA, if you can clearly organize this AAA, it gives better opportunities for the student fraternity. And it brings very positive reflections as far as teaching fraternity is concerned. That means teachers will be able to know what are the positive reflections we need to have. Next, it offers high-level research and teaching facilities in the organizations for the teachers, students, and of course, for the people who are really interested in research from outside the organizations, like incubation activities. Next, it provides best educational system for all stakeholders. Like best educational system is very, very important to progress everyone, mutual progress of everyone, like the students, teachers, parents, like the strategic bodies, like state government, central government, AACD, whatever it may be, and other industries who are really interested to take the students or to adopt the students for their companies. Like this, we can get the best educational system if we can properly adapt this AAA. And of course, overall, it gets, or the AAA will be able to give us overall name and fame to the organization and of course to the individuals as a whole. What are the advantages associated with AAA? Teachers, coming for teachers, I already told what are the advantages in the earlier slide slightly. For teachers, it gets clear idea about their responsibilities. What the actual responsibilities as a teacher, what the positive focus on the organization the teachers will be getting. It helps students in getting best focus on necessary outcomes. Like students, we all know they are very wise and they're all-rounders and they involve in many aspects. But thing is, if you can adopt the real AAA, the students will be eliminating all unnecessary activities and they will be able to know what their focus, to be honest. Next, leadership. I mean, the administrative bodies. It gets best overview on the entire institution growth. How we can involve in the growth of the institution, or how best if we adopt the AAA, the institutions will level up. And coming for the management, they will be able to know how efficiently we can implement all the resources, processes, strategic plans, or any other things. So like that, this AAA is highly advantageous, not for a single body, for all the stakeholders, in particular teachers, students, leadership, and management. And it gives a better focus to the parents that they can directly look at an institution where the quality is really existed. What are the involved principles of AAA? It is the continuous betterment. That is the very important. Sustainment and betterment. The second principle is the good governance. Next one, placement. And of course, it gives us the best alumni. Next, application of any new or innovative reforms. Next, consistency and progress and the teamwork in the organization. Next, well documentation with evidentiary proofs. Next, research facilities for the teachers and the students. And of course, I already mentioned now our focus is not only for our teachers and students, and we should be able to provide as a kind of hub to promote these research activities among the society to utilize the facilities inside our college for mutual progress. Next one, quality based on learning outcomes. Very, very important thing. And clear focus on teaching, learning, and evaluation. These are the systematic principles involved in AAA. Okay, how we need to approach for AAA? As we all know, the quality implementation or quality is not a single day effort. Similarly, AAA academic and administrative audit is not a single day effort. It is a continual process. Because as we all know, and of course, National Academic Accreditation Council, NAAC, is very, very, very particular about the continual implementation, or it is demanding a kind of demanding in these institutions to maintain a very keen academic and administrative audits in their organizations. This is very, very important aspect, and the NAAC is very keen about this particular thing. For this purpose, one thing let me tell, NAAC in fact does not provide the actual guidelines for AAA. One has to remember this. Of course, NAAC gives us very powerful guidelines, very important guidelines by means of different criteria, like 7 criteria for getting accreditation and internal submission like AQ or something like that. But to be honest, it's not focusing any special guidelines for AAA as far as institutions are concerned, because NAAC wants, and of course, every institution should also recognize the fact that institutions will be innovative in their approaches, so that we should grow on our own and we should implement our own practices without having any kind of deviation as far as quality aspirations as suggested, as required by NAAC. That is the reason NAAC has not specified any guidelines for AAA. So that is the reason many higher educational institutions, they are differ in their approaches, and some of the institutions are very clever in such a way that they are so innovative, they are incorporating their own ideas with a kind of different agendas without having any deviation as far as the 7 criteria of NAAC are concerned. It is very good practice and acceptable practice. And of course, in 80% of the organizations, they really follow the NAAC criteria suggested for accreditation, because they suggested very good criteria. So they follow the NAAC criteria, and nothing wrong in following that. But it is advisable to have our own incorporations without the deviation of NAAC 7 criteria. This is very, very important. And of course, it is happening in different organizations in different way. And of course, based on the fundamental professionalism of the organization also, like technical institutions and common degree institutions, medical organizations, and they are having their innovative approaches as far as this AAA is concerned. Those who are really interested to maintain the absolute quality. For this particular purpose, Institutional Quality Assurance Cell, IQAC, Internal Quality Assurance Cell, is very, very important, because the role of IQAC is so vital as far as academic and administrative audits are concerned. For this purpose, organizations should develop fundamental statutes for AAA. That means, what is our focus? What is our mission? What is our mission? How best we need to maintain the quality? Like that, we need to develop fundamental statutes. Somehow, people can also say that's the fundamental guidelines. The statutes is the better word. So we need to design the statutes so that whatever we do, it should be involved with this particular statutes. So once these statutes are being prepared, then IQAC will need to elucidate a kind of methodology to have this kind of academic and administrative audits without having deviation, fundamental deviation of 7 criteria of NAAC. So friends, it is very important. The role of IQAC, as it is required for NAAC, the same role is required for AAA. We should not neglect a AAA. It should be very concentrated. We should concentrate so well. The IQAC should be given very free access as far as AAA is concerned in order to sustain our quality. So coming for the types of AAA, that means what are the different types of audits we have generally? We call it, or we can consider it in the two ways. First one is internal AAA. Second one is external AAA. That means internal academic and administrative audit, external academic and administrative audit. So this is just to have a typical reflection, because we are focusing that we should not, as far as AAA is concerned, we should not deviate from the basic criteria of NAAC. All the 7 criteria are just shown here, like curricular aspects, teaching, learning and evaluation, research, innovation and extension, infrastructure and learning resources, student support and progression, governance, leadership and management, institutional values and best practices. Thing is, AAA is also one of the best practices. Innovative approach as far as AAA is also one of the best practices. Yes. Now let us see how to constitute AAA teams. Here, if you look at this AAA, internal AAA and external AAA, both are very important. Internal AAA, we need to constitute on our own inside the organization. And here, we should know that this AAA constitution is different from IQAC constitution. We may consider that this AAA may be synopsis of IQAC, but not as a whole. Because if you look at the IQAC, apart from the regular fundamental aspects, if you look at the principal will be there as the chair, and vice principals you can depute, and there will be an IQAC coordinator, and we'll have around 3 to 8 faculty members at different capacities. And there will be an administrative officer from the administrative support, and there will be management report representative, and there may be a societal representative like local board representative and alumni who can have, and industrial membership. Like that, IQAC, it does require a huge composition when compared to AAA. But whereas our AAA is concerned, it does not require the other bodies. It may be sufficient with our inside persons. Like we can have our principal, obviously, and the vice principal. And some institutions may be having more than one vice principals based on their structure and dimensions, like academic, administrator, something like that. They can use any of them or all. And IQAC coordinator is very must. And senior teachers here. In IQAC, we use different capacities like assistant professor, professor kind of. But here, we use only senior teacher members as a members. Then definitely there should be a management representative. So as I told, we can choose the selection of this body from our IQAC. This is the constitution of internal AAA. Whereas the external AAA, obviously, as in the case of our NAAC meets and all, it comprises a chairman and 2 to 3 peer members. This is our own, that we need to have our own body here. Like how to select this kind of team here. If you see this, we can select this team of external team from any recognized state or national level quality consortium or body. This is very important. Like that, there are some bodies. Actually, to be honest, I should not mention what are the actual bodies at this particular thing to select. But as in India, in particular, the Gujarat Consortium model is one of the top class quality assurance models as far as this kind of AAA evaluations are concerned. Like that, there are so many bodies we can select, but thing is here, we may say what are the qualifications of the members of this body. They are absolutely, the fundamental concept of this body is nothing but they should get impression from the institution as far as their quality assurance evaluation is concerned. Like that, there are certain standardized bodies, and in South also there are some bodies. We can use these members for external evaluation as external AAA. Or we can invite NAAC peer team members from any of our universities. That means not faculty members from the university. The faculty who are serving as NAAC peer team members in university. They may be from single university or from any other different universities. Next, NAAC peer team members from any of the NAAC A+ graded organizations. This is very important. So we can choose any of this. Always it is better to have a quality consortium bodies so that they will also involve with other practices which are involved in other organizations outside the India. So this is our selection. We can have from any quality consortium or any university or any NAAC A+ graded. That means once you go for any organization, it should be at least A+ graded. But thing is here, once we need to remember that in case our institution is NAAC A+ graded, in case it's very good, we will be the members of internal team, but we should not be external AAA. That means we should not take it as granted to have our accreditation external AAA also. This everyone should remember. Next one, periodicity of AAA. Periodicity in the sense, what is the actual period at which in fact we should conduct this kind of AAA? To be specific, it is always advisable to have our internal AAA at least once in a year. Or if you go for this kind of external AAA, advisable 3 years for once. Because it is a bit tedious. Every year we will go on at our quality sustainment and all. So each and every year, it may not be possible or it doesn't require to have external AAA. And next, what is the duration of AAA? That means how many days we can have this AAA. Internal AAA, we may have for 2 days, and external AAA, we may have for 2 to 3 days. It is our convenience, and we can go for that. This is like periodicity as, and of course, the duration of AAA. Yes. This is another important thing. What are the different stages associated with AAA? First one is preparation of self-study report. This is very, very crucial, very fundamental, important step as far as AAA is concerned. It is as important or as good as we prepare for NAAC inspections or any other MBAs. Because this AAA is to know what we are, to have the reflection of on our own. So that is the reason it should be foolproof. So whatever we have, whatever the guidelines we prepared, like what are the statutes we prepared to go for EEE, without having any kind of bias, we need to develop a self-study report here. And it does require, or it does involve with all absolute documentary evidences. So this SSR, we can have in correlation with the 7 criteria of NAAC, but here did not confuse. We can having no deviation with the 7 criteria of NAAC. But what are the quality intrinsics we have, that is up to us. We can have, in case we are challenging enough, our quality tools or quality parameters, we can have even better than they suggest. Like that, first of all, SSR should be prepared with all the necessary evidences. The second stage is our internal peer review. This must be very serious. Internal peer review must be very serious. Because as we do for the external, as we face in the inspections, we go for this internal peer reviews. And here we'll really evaluate our SSR. Though the members are our own, though we prepare the SSR, if you go for our internal peer review, if we evaluate our own, we will be able to know what exactly we are. That is the purpose of this internal peer review. So here we should identify any deviations and we should try to have any modifications, and in case we need, that should be involved, that should be incorporated in SSR as per the review. And that means once this particular internal peer review have been done, these modifications have been included in the SSR. It should be exploited among ourselves. Whatever the suggestions we proposed here, without shaping out this kind of SSR, we need to try to implement the suggestions of this SSR. And whatever we implement here, it should be recorded as a kind of supplementary annexure or a kind of supplementary SSR. And then these things we need to submit to the external peers as and when we have external peer audit. That means once we complete this kind of thing, and that means, because I already told, this internal peer review may be have once for every year. That means first year, second year, and third year we will have this kind of internal peer review, internal AAA, lot of suggestions we can have, lot of modifications we can have, and this kind of, with the incorporation of all these modifications, we can prepare an SSR for the external peer audit. And at this particular external peer audit, we need to submit this review and we will get the review kind of this, that is external AAA. And then in the next stage, what are the suggestions in case the external peer committee provides us, we need to implement for still betterment of our academic and administrative processes and going for other steps. These are the different stages involved in EEE. So this is the external EEE on-site process, almost very close to our real NAAC or NBA and other quality assurance processes. As and when they visit the campus, at first they will be having an interaction with the principal and IQAC coordinator, not with all the members of IQAC. And of course, it depends on the P team. And soon after that, they will be collecting this SSR and they will go around the departments or the different sections, not only academic and other co-curricular departments also. They will pay attention with the necessary interactions They will verify the data there, and they will get some sort of inputs. And soon after completion, it may take 1.5 day, 2 day, based on the understanding, and of course, based on the time and the quantity of the organization. And in the next level, they will have a meet with IQAC. And in case they need any details, they try to get details from the IQAC. In case they want to have any kind of documents, other documents, they will ask for the documents. They try to have complete any clarifications they have during their visits. Like that, during this IQAC meeting, they will have, and they will be having some sort of understandings and some formal observation count. And in the next level, they will have an interaction with the management, principal, and coordinator, like IQAC coordinator. Then obviously, they will express their views regarding this kind of visit, and they will analyze what we submitted to them, what they found, and what are the real on-site observations, what actually the institution is in need of, what actually the state of the institution. Of course, almost this slide is almost very close to NAAC inspection proceedings. And then they will also have an exit meet. They will give us the very brief summary of the audit, and whatever the official information they want to submit, they can also submit there. And this is all very important steps generally in external AAA is happening. To be honest, based on the actual experiences we have as a part of the organizations, the AAA, 100% AAA academic and administrative audit should be on-site, not off-site. On-site offsite says it should not be online. On-site is offline. Off-site is online. It should be on-site, 100% on-site. So these are the concluding remarks as far as the AAA is concerned. And to be recognized that this AAA academic administrative audit is a real model of our own reflection or self-reflection. Everyone should recognize that. We should imbibe, like all the faculty, all the administrative body, the management, we should imbibe that it's a kind of self-reflection. And we need to know that AAA is possible only with the best collaboration, best teamwork, and we need to have best feedback mechanism to enhance the quality. And another important thing is that whatever the quality policies or whatever the statutes we given for AAA, that should be known to each and every entity of the organization. Right from, of course, management obviously know, administrative bodies obviously know, principals obviously know, teachers who are really working for the good amount of time in the organizations, they know. But even very recently joined faculty, they should know, all the students should know. So that is the reason everyone should know that we are running a real quality process. And another important thing is, before going for any kind of AAA, after having our own statutes to have our AAA, a proper checklist must be prepared. Whatever the quality indicators, real quality indicators, this is a very, very important thing. We should not be hooked, we should not be cooked. And these quality indicators, as far as these quality indicators, we need to work. So a checklist with all the real important quality indicators must be prepared well in advance before we undergo the process for AAA of internal. we should imbibe the importance of quality indicators. We should understand the quality indicators. We should know what is the actual indication of this parameter and how we need to work as far as this indicator. That is very, very important. So a checklist must be prepared before AAA, at least a few months before. Accordingly, work should process and AAA should process. Next one, very, very important, as everyone knows, because these are all quality organizations, quality-based organizations, quality recognized organizations. The IQAC is very, very, very keen in AAA. So the fundamental establishment and the real function of IQAC is very, very important, and there should be no bias. IQAC should be very free at hand to function to its best maximum. If it doesn't work well, quality will never exist, and we cannot expect quality. So the role of IQAC is very, very important. And next, careful structured system required for monitoring, assessment, and evaluation of institutional process. Why, in fact, I am telling it is a continuous process, not a single day process. Just because of this AAA, we cannot declare holidays to the students and we cannot declare holidays to the faculty. So it is on-site process and as a part of process. That is the reason very structured system is required for continual monitoring, frequent assessment, and absolute evaluation of the institutional process. Friends, the continual implementation of AAA lifts all higher educational institutions to impart quality. Of course, not only as far as higher educational institutions are concerned, it is common for all institutions. So this is what I want to tell you at the prescribed time as far as academic and administrative audit as far as revised framework is concerned. So now I stop sharing and I expect the faculty members or the participants to have kind of any interaction.
Any queries, participants, please interact.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Mr. A. Apparao,
Namaste.
Venkateshwara Engineering College,
Pardon, sir?
Andhra Pradesh, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Which college, sir?
Venkateshwara Engineering College, sir.
Okay, sir. Fine, sir. Where it is, sir?
Andhra Pradesh, Srikakulam Jilla, sir. Srikakulam district.
Fine, sir. Fine, sir. Nice to
Sir,
talk to you.
regarding this NAAC, sir, is there any possibility of making mandatory of NAAC for all engineering colleges which are under the AICT affiliation?
It is not only for engineering college, sir. For all educational institutions, it is going to become mandatory.
Okay, sir.
And of course, one thing, let me tell you, I do not know how many of us know that if you look at this kind of higher level of organizations like IITs, now they are not coming under this accreditation. But maybe from next December, these higher level of organizations like IITs and IASC, they are also getting accredited by National Accreditation Council. And we are going to have only one kind of accreditation. And very soon, we are not going to be given any kind of what you call grading. Whether we are going to get accredited, we got accredited, not accredited, very close to accreditation. So it is mandatory, not for engineering colleges or any education institutions. Accreditation by NAAC is very, very compulsory, sir.
Okay, sir. So actually what you said, only one accreditation will be there in nearby.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Otherwise, that NIRF, that quest.
No, not like that. Not like that. I mean that now, as far as NAAC is concerned, they are giving grades.
Yes, sir.
Like A plus, A double plus, based on the score we got during this inspection on 30%, 70% base, we are getting these grades.
Understood, sir.
These grades are being replaced with whether it is accredited, non-accredited, or about accredited. These three are going to get.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other queries? No more? Okay. I thank Dr. S. Suryanarayana Raju Garu for having given an excellent talk on academic and administrative methodology in revised accreditation framework. Sir has told us about the role of teachers is very important in the growth of the country. He has told the importance of AAA, academic and administrative audit, how IQAC plays a vital role in the development of the institution, and he has elaborately told us about the process of accreditation followed by the NAAC. Thank you very much, sir. Your inputs will be very, very useful for all our participants. Thank you very much, sir.
Namaste, madam. Thank you so much for giving this
Thank
opportunity.
you, sir.
I wish
Thank
we'll
you.
meet again. Thank you. Namaste.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. We'll be
Thank you,
having
sir.
the next
Thank you.
session at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.